ScreenRant is excited because they may have figured out JABBA's role in Solo, a Star Wars story. You don't say, ScreenRant. What are you, 2 time zones behind your own ass?
Hello, I started this gangster shit. And this the mother thanks I get. Hello, I started this gangster shit.
Hey, thanks everyone. Thank you. It's nice to be with you. Good morning, good afternoon, good mid-afternoon, good evening, good night. Yeah, whatever time you're watching this. I just want to be prepared. I want to wish you greetings. This is Comic Artist Pro Secrets. I am Ethan Van Sciver, your host. I'm a comic book artist. I have been for 25 years, and I am a great big Star Wars fan. Privileged to know you. This is Screen Rant. I don't know if you're following my videos or not, but I am taking note, taking names. I am of some of these garbage tier. I call them trash level garbage tier sci-fi websites. They're basically Star Wars show websites, and they're really dumb. They're really bad. We may have figured out Jabba's role in Solo, a Star Wars story. Absolutely absurd. Chris Agar, written by Chris Agar, who we've read before. Wouldn't it be great if Chris Agar was related to the great John Agar, Shirley Temple Black's husband? At one point, didn't go so well between the two of them. He could be Shirley Temple's son. I don't know that. Or is Chris? I'm assuming gender. Chris could be a girl. But anyway, Chris could be related to John Agar, annoying B-movie star of the 1950s. I would like to think that that is the case. He's going to have to answer me in the comments below to let me know one way or the other. All right, what goes on? What goes on, Chris? What are you here to tell us? Did you just figure something out that I've been telling my channel for 2 months? Dialogue in Solo, a new Star Wars story TV spot, seems to allude to Jabba the Hutt, clearing up some of the finer details of the spin-off's plot. Since his introduction in A New Hope, Han has always been connected to Jabba, spending most of the original trilogy in debt to the crime lord after a smuggling job went wrong. Is it most? I guess it's most of the original trilogy. If it's 1.5, if it's more than 1.5% of the movie, if it's more than 1.5% of the movie, it is most of the original trilogy. I think his debt was paid once he was frozen in carbonite and hung on the wall. I would expect my debts to be paid under those circumstances. I think he was out of debt in Return of the Jedi, and I think Princess Leia, she cleared all of his debts to Jabba the Hutt. Yeah. Their pasts are so tied together, it seems borderline impossible to make a movie like Solo without including Jabba in any capacity. And yet, as marketing heated up with trailers and TV spots, it looked like the Hutt would be missing from the action. No, it didn't. It was a red herring. You guys fell for it. I am on these people. Now, I was a little bit disappointed that we didn't get to hear the ho. Wait, let me get the microphone closer. Ho, Solo. I did want to hear that. I wanted to hear that in the first trailer. We didn't get to hear that on the Super Bowl. But it was coming. I mean, definitely, Jabba the Hutt will be in this movie because Ron Howard is no dummy. And Ron Howard basically expects that this will be a one-off. Even though Alden Ehrenreich is spreading rumors, filthy rumors, that there will be 3 of these movies. Damn you, there will not be 3 of these movies. We will stop the 3rd Ehrenreich. We will fight you on the land. We will fight you on the sea. We will fight you in the air. There will be no 3rd Ehrenreich Solo movie if Comic Artist Pro Secrets has anything to say about it. And we may. Yeah. So, of course, Ron Howard is going to put everything and the kitchen sink in this movie because he knows there's not going to be another. Now, that is not going to leave any room for anything in episodes 2 or 3. Should there be sequels? I don't think there will be sequels. I don't think there will. Do you know why? According to Forbes, oh my God, Solo is going to be the lowest grossing Star Wars film ever from a certain point of view. And from that point of view, from the point of view of box office gross, I think that is the point of view. Scott Mendelson, thank you for your honesty. Thank you very much. Now, this is disappointing for me This is disappointing. I expect this movie, and I've said it from the very beginning, I expect this movie to be an A+. If it is not an A+, if it is an A-, if it is just an A, it will be a complete and utter failure in my eyes because my expectations are very high. I've heard good things. Also, I expect this movie to gross $300,000 minimum. $340,000. No, I'm sorry. What am I saying? Thousand. Yeah, $340 million. Excuse me, $340 million in its opening weekend. By the way, watch it only gross $300,000. What would you say if that were the case? You'd be like, Uncle Ethan, you're a prophet. You're a prophet. And I'd be like, that's right, I am. The only prophet Disney's ever going to know. Here we go. Unlike any live-action Star Wars movie since the first Star Wars, Walt Disney's Solo, a Star Wars story, finds itself in the position of not being expected to rule the season, if not the year. Of course, it does not have to be the biggest grossing movie of the season to be a success when your expectations are so incredibly low. That is correct. That's correct. They're not expecting anything of it. They've said from the very beginning that this movie was going to be a flop. I never believed them. I always thought it was going to be great. Again, my expectations are sky high. Okay. Right. So they think that he's been in the footage. Anyway, we were talking about Jabba the Hutt again. The last few weeks have been an onslaught. That's a good word. An onslaught. An onslaught. What does onslaught mean? Can we just look up that definition real quick, please? I think we need to know. So this better not be porn. Definition of onslaught, according to Merriam-Webster. I do this live, I mean, it could be porn. What comes up? We're hoping it's not. Onslaught, it's a noun. An especially fierce attack. Yeah. An especially fierce and cruel attack. An onslaught by the enemy, a massive onslaught by enemy troops caught the country by surprise. Yeah, this word was used very aptly. Very aptly indeed. Onslaught. I like that. It's good to teach you guys something. Onslaught of solo ads from the enemy, a fierce attack. Highlighting fun character interactions and franchise Easter eggs. Easter eggs. This movie has a Christian agenda, doesn't it? Oh, good. This latest one, however, appears to bring narrative specifics to greater focus. The spot heavily features Dryden Voss, the quote-unquote big shot gangster. No, wrong. The big shot gangster always referred to Jabba the Hutt. It was meant to tease us. Dryden Voss, what a terrible disappointment. If some fellow with a scar on his face was the major villain of this movie. Absolutely not. Who's organizing a mission to Kessel. As he lays the stakes for Han and Beckett, Voss warns them that failure will leave them with no further options. Everybody always warns me of that. Quote, "You know who I answer to," he says. Wait, let me try that again. "You know who I answer to," he says. Now, let me try that again. "You know who I answer to," he says. Yeah, I'm really good. Like I really am a great actor. I'm good with accents. No, I'm not. I suck. Oh, my bad. Since Solo is set in the galactic underworld, there are only so many individuals that it could be in reference to. Yeah, that's right. There are probably only like 2 or 3 crime bosses in the galaxy, in a heavily populated galaxy. Probably Jabba the Hutt. Before getting choked to death by Leia. That sounds like fun. Jabba was one of the most powerful gangsters in the galaxy, running a criminal empire that operated in the Outer Rim. Multiple Solo planets are located there. Though Jabba's home was on Tatooine, his influence was felt across a plethora. I think it's plethora of worlds. Plethora sounds like something that comes out when a baby is born. It spills out onto the table. It's gross. Jabba even cut. It's not gross. It's natural. It's childbirth. It's natural. JABBA even cut a deal with the Galactic Empire when the Imperials looked to eliminate Outer Rim crime. This allowed JABBA to conduct his business as usual without having to worry about any competition. Since Solo is set in the pre-Rogue One heyday of the Empire, all signs are pointing to JABBA being the one Dryden is talking about. He essentially had a monopoly on Outer Rim criminal activities. Look at him. Look at him having a monopoly. Yeah. This isn't just wild conjecture. It isn't. Shortly after Ron Howard took over solo directing duties last summer, rumors about JABBA's involvement first popped up. They're talking about Kathleen Kennedy. Stop it. It was uncertain exactly how the Hutt would factor in. Initial reports had him playing a significant role, but now it sounds like he's going to be more of an off-screen threat. Well, that'll save money. That'll save money. And unless this movie earns $340 million opening weekend, $340,000 is not enough. It's not going to cut it. $340 million, this movie is in the red. It's got to do good. We can't afford Jabba the Hutt. We can't afford to show him. He's got to be an off-screen threat. He's got to be an off-screen threat that's similar to Emperor Palpatine in A New Hope. In all likelihood, Jabba will be mentioned by name to illustrate the severity of Han's situation. Han's gaining weight. That's usually when Jabba the Hutt gets mentioned to people. But he may not physically appear in the scene. This would allow Jabba to have a presence in Solo and still give Ron Howard the opportunity to spend more time with new, crappy characters that we don't care about. Additionally, one of the director's famous social media set photos was an obscure Jabba reference. Oh, was it? Oh, was it? Ron Howard teases obscure... That's not obscure at all. Oh, written by Chris Agar. Again, Chris, what are you doing? You're just like your father. Annoying. Alright, where's that Easter egg? Oh... Can anybody translate for me? Yeah, it means fuck off. Okay. Macquarie. This is a nod to famed concept artist Ralph McQuarrie, whose drawings for the original trilogy helped sell. Jabba's Palace. Wow, that is roundabout. That is definitely a roundabout Easter egg. You could have just, shown a Salacious Crumb. No, we don't want that. We don't want that. This is all porno. You have to excuse me. Oh my God. Why? Why do they do this? Why do they do this? Building anticipation for a failing movie. Incorporating old Ralph McQuarrie concept art into the production design. Since new Star Wars canon has integrated some of McQuarrie's work into projects before, most notably Darth Vader's Rogue One castle, it wouldn't be out of the question for Solo to tip its hat, its fedora, to the legendary artist. The TV spot also makes it sound like the Conveyex vehicle Beckett and Han rob belongs to Dryden, and by extension, Jabba, meaning the crew is recruited for the Kessel job as a means of repaying any debt they owe Voss. Oh! It wouldn't be entirely shocking if things go south along the way, putting Han and Chewbacca at the mercy of Jabba to save their skins. Yeah, hence Han's smuggling career under Hutt's employment begins until he drops the shipment at the site of an Imperial cruiser. That's the front of the Millennium Falcon. The nose, the piece that's missing. That's the shipment, okay? This reads as a smart way of fleshing out... This is your opinion, Chris. Reads as a smart way. That's your opinion. What if I think it reads as a dumb way? What if I think that it projects dumbness and stupidity? Reads as a smart way of fleshing out Han's complicated history with Jabba without leaning on the classic villain as a nostalgia crutch. Don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. If the goal of the Star Wars anthology line is to embrace the episodes... Oh, I'm sorry. Enhance the episodes. I was scratching my eye. Is to enhance the episodes, tying everything back to Jabba should almost be expected. What is this? Why do we have a link here? Star Wars Theory. Solo will retcon Han's original character arc. That is quite true. I have warned you about this 1,100,000 times. I have warned you about this 340 million times. This, and you don't have to believe me now. Everything that I've said so far has come true. You don't have to believe me now, though. You can wait. Acknowledge my greatness later. This is going to lead to a remake, a crappy SJW poisoned remake of Star Wars A New Hope. Why, after all? Why? Why wouldn't they do that? Disney doesn't care. They don't care about what you think. They don't care about your feelings. They care about making money. So we got a new young cast that's going to grow into the roles. This gentleman is going to grow into the charisma, charm, wit, and elan of Han Solo. He is going to become, he's going to go from looking like, the drummer of R5 into a rugged, outdoorsy pirate. Like, he's going to grow into that. You'll see his little baby face is going to melt off. He's going to eventually look like this. And he's going to become the Han Solo for the millennial generation. He is. There's going to be a new Luke Skywalker. There's going to be a new Han Solo. Yeah. Lando Calrissian? We've already got him. Yeah. I know what you're saying. You're like, Billy D, not Don Glover. No. The 80s are over. It's over. Okay? It's going to be Don Glover. He is the new Lando Calrissian. You're going to have to get used to it right now. Yeah. So they have all their theories, don't they? They have all their theories that kind of underline and underscore things that I've said 4 years ago. Nice job, Screen Rant. Nice job. We're on to you. We know what you're up to. We know what you and MovieWeb, we know what you're up to. We know what are these other sites? I can't even remember any of them right now. They're all terrible. All of them are terrible. But we know what you're up to. And we will continue to keep our eye on you here at Comic Artist Pro Secrets. So say I. So say us all. Hey, me and Kaylee are here, and we just want to say one thing to you.
Thank you to all the Patreon donors.
Yeah, thank you to all the Patreon donors, and thank you to everyone who donates super chats. Thank you to everyone who likes these videos and shares them. Without you, we couldn't do it. We couldn't do it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, and we'll see you again soon in another video.